Heyo! Howdy everyone, Beta Clone 076 here, obviously, and taking advantage of this very pleasant morning. It is as warm now, with wind chill and all, or a lack thereof, as it has been in 3 or 4 weeks. And so I'm taking full advantage of the morning being beautiful and sunny and warm, and going for a quick ride before I won't get to until Monday now. So got going up to Indianapolis this weekend for the motorcycle expo there, going with the motorcycle shop I've been helping out at, working on the website for, and hoping for it just to be a good old time. I was actually hoping to ride up, but they've issued, I don't know if it was 2 or 3 winter weather advisories for Saturday night and Sunday morning, or starting Saturday night then going through Sunday, and they've canceled all 3. And so I'm just going to be smart, as much as I hate to be smart, and just ride up in a cage with one of the guys from the shop instead of taking the bike. It's like I was hoping to actually take Richfield up, because I love riding this little bike, but whenever my buddy and I were talking, he said he was just going to hop on the interstate and run 80 the whole way, and 80 on this little 250 is about all she's got. So then I was like, well, I'll just take Ziggy then. And so with the concourse, have been easy to keep up with him and run up there, and then running at those kinds of speeds with him on the interstate, that'd give me some leeway to get up and go if I had to, get around stuff, whatever. Wouldn't have any of the situation like what I had on Richfield last week. Whenever I was on I-65, I was trying to find out how she behaved on the interstate, and she behaves very well, actually. Better than that 600 Katana did, better than Anna did, better than Ziggy does, better than the Shadow does. She just doesn't have any top end. So I was going down through there, passing a line of trucks, and apparently one of the trucks that was in that line, there's like 9 of them total, I think, had gotten trapped. And so whenever I went by, I was cruising about 75 or 80. That's about average speed there. And he pulls out behind me, and he just gets on it. And so I was like, oh, okay. So I rolled on it, and he starts honking his horn at me, running 85, and all right. Rolled on it, got up to 92 miles an hour according to my speedometer, which, if the little police scanner things that they set up for your speed are accurate, then I was only really doing 87, since it always said I was 5 miles over on this. And yeah, it always said my speedometer was 5 miles an hour faster than what, or my speedometer always said 5 miles an hour faster than what that thing read. And so I just rolled on it, and then I was passing him, and he honked his horn one more time, and he was like, I can't go any faster, it's a 250. And then we hit a hill, and I start slowing down, and he starts laying on the horn again. It's like, ah, dang it! It's that was a rather uncomfortable situation, because I could feel the push off of him. He was getting so close to me. But so I was going to take Ziggy up, but since what is today? Today's Friday. So since Wednesday, or yesterday? No, it's been since yesterday. They've issued 3, well, I know 2 winter weather advisories. I think it was a 3rd one as well. I didn't see one of them. And they have since canceled said winter weather advisories. So I figure no matter what I do, I wish I had done the other thing. So I'm just going to be smart about it, and I'll just go in the cage with my buddy, and then I don't have to worry about getting caught out in any snow accumulation or sleet or icy rain or slush or any crap on the bike. As much as I don't want to, I was really looking forward to riding up there. I've been wanting to go on a longer trip, specifically an out-of-state ride, since I got the bikes. So, and I thought this was going to be the perfect opportunity for that. And check out those Clydesdales. That's what we get to see out this way. Mennonites out here. We got one of the sects of Mennonites that don't believe in vehicles, or don't use vehicles, I guess, except for longer trips. And they all live down in this direction. Or I guess it's technically up in this direction since it's north. And get to run into them all the time. That's actually the first time I've seen that wagon. One of the ones, he doesn't have the reflective triangle on it and doesn't have his bench. He's actually standing up there driving. But yeah, see those guys out here all the time with their carriages, see them with their bicycles, and sometimes they'll have, actually a lot of times they'll have wagons behind them where they're dragging them along, and have maybe a dog in the wagon behind their bicycle, or children in the wagon behind the bicycle, or a child. Usually it's not multiple children, it's usually just one child in the back of it. But yep. Oh, so yeah, so anyways, with the weather, I was like, oh, I know I'm gonna hate whichever decision I make, so I'll make the decision that has the least chance of affecting my ability to get home. So I'm just going to go in the cage with my buddy, and that's about it with that. I'm looking forward to this. I mean, it's actually set up like the conventions that I go through, the sci-fi fantasy conventions, Dragon Con, Balticon, those types of things, where they've got basically it's panels. I don't know what they're calling it, learning sessions or something. And so since I've been working with the internet stuff with them down there, they've actually got a couple internet type deals with the learning classroom. So that could be kind of fun, hopefully, to check out. See if these guys that they have there speaking actually have more knowledge in social media and networking and marketing for that type of stuff than what I've picked up from all of my author and podcasting friends. And just have to wait and see how that works out. But I'm hoping that that's not a waste of time. But then, they were telling me that there's just so much stuff there. They're supposed to have electric motorcycles there to test ride. Man. Which would be cool if we can actually ride them. Supposed to have like virtual rides, not just those wheelie things like you see, but I guess where they have the bikes or something, a replica bike set up to where you can actually ride it virtually on a track or something. So that'll be kind of cool. I'm kind of curious how that would work though, if it's actually like a track, how it's going to lean if you're actually perched up on the motorcycle. But it'll all be fun. And then there's going to be all the vendors there giving away crap. They told me I actually need to take a rolling suitcase, not to carry what I'm taking with me in, but to carry what I'm going to get for free while I'm there. I'm used to taking a backpack for that kind of stuff, but they said that it's just so much crap and those catalogs are so big if I actually pick them up that I will want something that rolls, so I don't murder myself trying to lug a backpack around full of that stuff. So, and then the thing that, because I actually had a work thing this weekend where we were taking the high school kids to it's called Trio Day, where a bunch of the programs get together and they have academic competition and all this other stuff. And I talked to my boss and asked him about it. I said, well, it's like, I know I said I was going to go on the trip, but I've got this motorcycle expo to go to. And he told me by all means go to the expo. Don't miss that opportunity, that I can always go to another Trio Day next year. And so then, since since he told me to go to the expo, whenever any of our high school kids or my coworkers ask me if I'm going, and I say, no, I'm going to this. And then they say, well, why? But blah, 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 whine, cry, cry, cry. Well, that's usually the coworkers, though, not the kids. Kids like, oh, cool. But the coworkers whine and cry. And I was like, well, let's see. I can go with a bunch of high school kids and hang out and do this stuff, or I can go to an expo that has motorcycle information, motorcycles, and motorcycle models. I think I'm going to the motorcycle expo. Hey, that's the fastest I've ever taken that turn. And I could have taken it a lot faster if I knew how to ride. I do love it whenever I have this camera in, because I don't pay attention and I just ride. And I actually ride that way instead of thinking about it and slow down, and which I mean, I ride conservatively, very conservatively usually, but I do get mad at myself riding a motorcycle, especially this one, because I still like compare every motorcycle to my old Miata that I had. And that thing, which, I mean, I drove it for, what, we got the Miata in 92, it was a 93 model, we got it at the end of 92, I believe, and so I started getting to drive it in 96, 95 is whenever I started getting to drive it, whenever I got my permit. And so then had it for the next 8 years, and I drove it off and on, and then because of how much I was driving for work and school, I mean, had a 70+ mile commute every day. Traded up with my father, with Papa, and he drove my truck, and I drove the Miata. And so I just inherited the Miata basically for 3 years or so. And I got so used to driving that car that it was just second nature to me. I knew exactly what it could do at all times, on every turn, anything it could handle. And well, obviously I've only been riding motorcycles since this past, what, July, I think? So, is it July? Yeah, last week in July is whenever Papa got his Shadow and I started stealing it from him, and then I had to have my own. So I've been riding for 6 months, thereabouts, officially. So I guess I've got some leeway on that, especially since I'm a little older. Don't know that I'm any wiser than I was, but I am a little more cautious than what I used to be, because I noticed that even driving, but granted I drive a Corolla now and not a Miata, so there's reason to be more cautious driving. Oh, excuse me, driving that.